Chapter 1 here, and welcome to another Team Fortress 2 gameplay commentary. Now this is the second part to my original video, the Spying Rules of Thumb, and this is just a continuation, and I wanted to talk a little bit more about Vanilla Spy, some things that I had left unsaid and the such. Now it might be a little bit more gameplay specific, so you want to pay attention to the gameplay as well. So I didn't talk enough about managing what you do with your cloak when you do happen to be cloaked, and it's very important. You have a tool in your arsenal and you want to use it to the fullest, and that's why you need to know where you should go and what routes to take when you have cloak, when you don't have cloak, and the such. So unlike your DR where you can, your Dead Ringer, where you can go through a lot of spam, your invisibility watch doesn't allow you to do that, because pipes, rockets, flames, they can still hit you and they can make it hurt. So you don't want to come into contact with that. It can be very dangerous. You also want to know where the ammo locations on the map are so that you can get around more effectively. Also, something important is that when you kill an enemy, or if you see on the ground weapons lying around from enemies, you want to also try and grab those. Now here, look at this. So I have 3 enemies looking after me, and it's getting pretty hectic. So I want to get an escape route, and when you are trying to escape with your cloak, you need to cloak first, and then you need to, of course, observe your enemies the entire time. So if your enemy starts running away and thinks you left, then it's a good idea to just stay put. Go in the opposite direction that they went in. Let's say they go spazzing around looking in one area. Look where they already checked and then go to that spot. It's very useful to do that because they're not going to double check a spot. They might, but they're not very likely to, which is important. I would also go as far to say is that decloaking is just important as cloaking. You have about 9 seconds of cloak. It takes about a second to cloak and 2 seconds to decloak. And it's very important to know what you do at those times. See, right here, this was a horrible decloak. I have 2 enemies coming up. I have the heavy coming, the sniper coming, and the spy came back to check for me since I bumped into him, which isn't good at all. So you want to decloak into either around corners, because Team Fortress 2 has audio displacement, so it means if you're in a nook or a cranny and you decloak, you will actually not emit as much sound because it'll take some time to travel there. You can also decloak behind enemies, right behind them, if they're distracted. If a heavy's revving up his minigun or a soldier's trying to shoot at another enemy, you could probably decloak if they're distracted. That's why it's so useful to know when an enemy's distracted. That's when it's the best time to strike, per se. Unfortunately, I get stuck here, so there's nothing I can do about that. I don't know, I mean, the number one thing I can recommend for somebody who's trying to learn how to play Spy or Vanilla Spy or any class in Team Fortress 2, that is, I would just recommend play the class. There are certain things you can do. You can only watch so many instructional videos, but at the end of the day, you need to play and get used to it, because you'll get a feel for how long your cloak lasts. You'll understand what you can do with it. You'll understand that that demo man was distracted, and that's why you can decloak right behind him. That's actually a very useful thing. It's called sneaking. It's where you walk up and decloak right behind them. Well, that's about that for this commentary, so please let me know what you thought in the comments below. Leave me some ratings, because I worked a bit harder on this commentary, trying to make it a bit more informative. And join my Steam group. It's in the description, where you can join us on the server, where you can also connect from the description. We'll see you there. Bye, everybody.